And I'm trying to answer all the messages. I've got people who are in traffic still on their way. I'm gonna push through, push through. All right. So again, as we did a little bit of icebreaker. What do you guys think about the little icebreaker on the questions and how to vet people who want your time and your money? What you gonna sit? I'm usually standing and running around and so forth.
I'm thinking you need to do a workshop
What?
on how to vet.
Yeah, one of the things that I used to do when I'm overcoming objections, but that spoke really to selling, is always how to have something to, those open-ended questions so that people don't really get a chance to say no, and you really get information out of them. And that's kind of what made me think about it. When the person was asking, like, you asking me questions, but I don't really know what direction this is going, so I don't know what you need.
Right.
I can tell you about me all day long, but what do you really need out of what I know? And so, but for time and money management, even for myself, we did a stream and we talked about, there was one person that they can't move without everything being on the calendar, being outlined, and me, I'm like, please don't put it on the calendar, because looking at it, it's like, I just try to talk myself out of it. If you call me and say, hey, in 30 minutes, can you be somewhere? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Spontaneous, someone in the spontaneous life. But, you can't look at a spontaneous life and realize how many billable hours you will have at the end of the month. You got to be able to plan and put it down. And then at the same time, I noticed we're working with entrepreneurs, a lot of people are still trying to figure out their pricing, how to ask for what they need and get it. I just, over this last year, I've just seen a lot of frustration. And I almost want to even come up with an entirely new word other than entrepreneurs. Because I've seen some true entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs know. They know what they want, they know what they're selling, they know what they're offering, they know how much time they have in a day, and then know how to make people respect that. And so that's what we want to really figure out. And when you said you did credit, and I know Tara does money, has a great conversation, and then when I saw that Deborah does time, I was like, that's a workshop. And actually, this is going to be a two-parter. We're going to focus on time and money today, as well as time and money next month, going into the holiday season, because we really need to get, going into this new year. In fact, next time I was thinking about it, I said, oh my God, it's just we're going to know what the president will be. It's like, we're going to know what the president will be at the end of the week here. Isn't that like scary? I was looking at, Facebook was giving me some reminders, memories of things I said about these candidates a year ago. I was like, oh my God. How did we end up with these two? Right? So here we are. And going forward, one thing too, this weekend I'll be doing a presentation on the gig economy. And in the gig economy, believe it or not, time and money looks different. When we talk about, I spent a year trying to help people become the Uber of that industry and getting them to understand that there were very little barriers to entry to whatever it is you want to do right now. It's really very little. Money looks different. Home ownership looks different. Are people buying houses? Are people, can you convince somebody to go into that kind of debt? I know the housing market is exploding right now, but it's exploding as far as investors are concerned. So there's so much opportunity now, even over the next 5 years, regardless of who the president is going to be in, and more so, I think, regardless of either of these two, people now know they got to manage time and their money. They got to look at their time a little bit different. You can't just go now to a job and do 8 hours. It's just altogether different. And I think I had each of you kind of take that into consideration going forward where we are. 8 hours a day looks like nobody don't have an hour or a day or anything else in there. So I have to start every day. If you will hold up your book, Deborah has an amazing book here, guys. And accountability on this. Time and follow-up is my biggest issue. So going forward, we look at the gig economy. Where do you think we are with time? No more hours in a day. Even though we love to have 9 hours. We are where we are. Right now we're
we don't manage it, really. For lack of a better word.
Right.
What happens is, for instance, just as you were saying that, you don't want to see this calendar, just kind of overwhelms you, but yeah, it's only 30 minutes,
Right.
I can go. And you can plan for that spontaneity, you can plan for that on your calendar and leave some time open for opportunities to do whatever you want to do. But it is very important to know what you need to do, with that goal in mind, which ties back into time management. So it is important to write down or put it on your calendar. I'm one of those people who don't leave home without electronic calendar, my reminders, anything I put in here because there's so much going on with this that, we say we're gonna remember, and a lot of times we may remember, but it may be too late. So, it's good for me and others just to put it down so you won't, especially if you have that important meeting that you have to get to, so.
How do you even take the time to put, as much as my phone is in my hand, going to my calendar, it's just like, it is overwhelming.
Well, the thing with technology today is that we can just hit a button and I can say, schedule meeting with DryerBuzz on November 9th. And it's gonna put it there on my calendar.
Right.
You don't have time to type it.
I started
You
doing
can use
that.
your technology to be more efficient.
I found that if it's not on my calendar, it won't get done.
Yes.
And so if I have time to write a post on Facebook, especially all the posts that I wrote on Halloween about how much I hate Halloween. Hiding out from as much as I can do that, then I can put things on my calendar because I have been situations where nothing was on my calendar, no reminders, and I missed opportunities or I missed events or I missed appointments. I can't afford to do that.
That's the thing that I had to relate to. In fact, I just got a virtual assistant, and I had to realize there's some opportunities in my email. There's opportunities where I don't put it on the calendar or don't make myself aware of. I had to relate it to that, finding a way to relate it. And I think that's what we have to do. Like for me, my money, I can only relate to my money if I think about I'm reimbursing something. I've got to reimburse, like spending. I was out, I went to lunch yesterday. It helps me to know, okay, now I'm gonna get that money back. Being able to tell myself I'm gonna get that money back, that was the only way I could really begin to understand how I deal with my money.
It's so funny you say that because as I was listening to Deborah and when I do my budget counseling, you need to know where every dollar's going.
That's right.
Matter of fact, you need to know where every coin. You talk about the coins, you need to know where every coin is going because if you don't designate it, it's gonna go somewhere.
It's gone.
It's going somewhere.
Right.
Either you can dictate,
Or it
Macy's, Weave, Nail, you name it, they'll dictate it for you.
Right.
So when you talk, and Cheryl was saying, having to work so many hours, chasing the dollar, you can't even relax. That's why budget is so important. Budget is so important.
Is there another word? Let me ask you, is there another word for budget? Wait, let me hear this from her. Is there another word for budget? Because why do we fight that word so much?
That's the B word.
I'm gonna let you say it, but I have a reason why. Because it affects me. So when I hear budget, I relate it to diet. When I hear diet, I hear die, deprivation. I can't, or whatever. And I'm that chick that if you tell me I can't do something, probably gonna do it. So in the diet, if it tells me that I can't have my lemon pepper wings and Tito's vodka, what am I gonna do? Really? So I end up sabotaging myself. So some of us need the psychological factor. I am a spender. I like to spend money, but I control it by creating spending plans that incorporate savings, a savings plan. So same thing with a diet. I'll never say I'm on a diet. I will create an eating plan that incorporates healthy eating. Tomatoes, tomatoes, whatever gets it going for you. Call it what you want. Going back to what she says, you have to name your dollars or your dollars will dictate what you can't do. So budget actually tells you what you tell your money what you're gonna do. It's actually access to doing everything that you wanna do because you take control over that money instead of money taking control over your time and everything else.
And very important, so when you create the spending plan, you gotta put some fun time in there. Put some fun time in there. Give you a good example. There was a gentleman who was about to retire, had a great job, family man, loved the family. Him, his wife, and 4 kids. You don't have enough money to retire. Digging in deeper, okay, so you go out every weekend, how much you spend? $300 a week, which is $1,200 a month, which is $14,400 a year, which in 30 years is $432 without interest. He ate his retirement.
Yeah.
You gotta know where your money's going, you got to know.
And God says to have fun. I have a very fun, loving God. And he tells us very plainly to enjoy ourselves. And so we what people tell me, if there's enough Bible, it's lost. So
Right. But the thing about it is, we still get to that point of thinking that we don't have it because we don't understand it, we don't do the math. We don't do the math. We think about, oh, I'm gonna spend this $300, but that would get that back.
Right.
But you don't think about, well, because one of the things that I had to do, I said, I don't want to deny myself. I was like, well, let me match. Okay? That's a whole other conversation. And then you said something about control, and the people that I see don't really want control.
Right.
I don't think anybody wants control. I think they want to just spiral out of control because there's no accountability to that.
Speaking of the Bible, there's a verse that says, train up a child in the way that they should go, when they get old. They will not
depart from it.
I say, train up your money in the way that it should go. When you get old, you'll be happy. Because people are living longer now. They really are. The people living longer, you're going to need to make provisions. You're not going to have Social Security.
Well, it's not gonna be enough.
Right. It will never be enough, for the lifestyle that you want to lead. We've got to take fiscal responsibility for our lives, for our livelihood, for our future. Who's waiting on us to do that? Who's going to do it for you? Nobody knows you in the standard of living that you prefer, other than you. So we've got to take responsibility, and if that means, okay, spending plan, diet, whatever you need, call it whatever makes you feel good, but you need to do it.
Yeah.
Do it, it's critical, it's really critical.
Well, let me ask Michael to jump in here too, because he does vacations, and that's another thing. When you try to get somebody to take a vacation, they always say they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money. So how does it translate to us on this? It's fun. Sarah said we love having the fun.
Well, as you talk about this, it all boils down to discipline as well, and when we talk about vacationing, we know that it also has a healthy aspect to it, because if someone does not take a break from the mundane that they're doing day in and day out, month and year, sooner or later they're gonna break down.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is about, I've been in the industry now going on 11 years. My whole thing is about educating. We're talking about the industry that is the largest on the planet. I look at different people. If you want to take a vacation, let me show you how to take it at the least amount of money that you're going to have to spend for that same vacation. If you want to get into the industry, let me show you that. If you want to make money in the industry, let me show you how to do that. If you're working a job, if you got a W-2, if you're getting a W-2, let me show you how to get your tax dollars back. So, I'm dealing with the whole realm to fit whatever person that I'm talking to. And it goes back to